It was a time of violence and bloodshed. People robbed and attacked one another. Trade declined. Cities emptied. And the people looked for salvation in the next life. Through all this chaos came a man who brought order to the Dark Ages. Charlemagne. But who was Charlemagne? Where did he come from? And would he make the Roman Empire live again? Find out tonight on The Mystery of History. Charlemagne created one of the greatest empires in Europe at that time, the Holy Roman Empire, which combined the areas of Italy, France, and Germany. Some of these areas had never been under the control of the Roman Empire itself. Charlemagne brought safety and stability to the early Middle Ages, a time when people were very much scared for their lives and thought that there were demons all around them and fairies and invisible things, and also visible things such as people and brigands and robbers that were trying to attack them. At this time, the cities were emptying and people were taking refuge in the countryside, and they looked to Charlemagne to unite them once again. The Roman Empire had a huge influence over these people, even over the barbarians that destroyed it, to the point where the barbarians were imitating the Roman Empire, issuing coins where they looked like Roman emperors and such. Charlemagne would establish the Holy Roman Empire, which would last for 1,000 years until it was dissolved by Napoleon Bonaparte in the 1800s. So it had a huge influence on Europe. After the fall of the Roman Empire, Europe descended into chaos. The early Middle Ages, a time period from about the year 700 to 1000, also known as the Dark Ages, found murder and robbery commonplace. Europe shattered into tiny fiefs and kingdoms, constantly squabbling amongst one another. The great majority believed the world was ending very shortly, and so concentrated on the salvation of their souls. Demons and fairies occupied their minds, and everywhere there were invisible dangers. The peaceful trade between large areas of the Roman Empire was no longer possible. The roads were no longer safe. Trade diminished. People left the cities searching for safety in the countryside. Nobles hid themselves in their country manners. Peasants, searching for protection, signed themselves over into serfdom and servitude in exchange for safety. The Vikings and Muslims attacked the extremities of Europe. The Viking raids spread chaos throughout the coastal areas. Muslim armies took most of Spain and even threatened France. The Europeans looked back to the peaceful times of the Roman Empire, the western part of which had fallen apart 300 years before. They longed for its stability and laws. Charlemagne, or Carolus Magnus, Charles the Great, was the son of a Frankish king. He was born in the 8th century AD. The Franks were a Germanic people who lived near the Rhine River in Germany. They later gave their name to the country they conquered, France. Charlemagne looked back to the Romans and envisioned a great empire in Europe again. His armies fought to unite the people of France and Germany. He forcibly baptized the German Saxons into Christianity and campaigned in Italy against the Lombards. He even sent expeditions against the Muslims in Spain. All of this came with the approval of the Pope. The Roman Catholic Church was the only vestige of the Roman Empire that survived. It gave hope to the people and united them in faith. It was a bastion of stability in an otherwise very dangerous Europe. Charlemagne was crowned Holy Roman Emperor with the blessing of the Pope. Though his empire was quite a bit smaller than the height of the original Roman Empire, his Holy Roman Empire gave a light of hope to the people. In the end, Charlemagne lit the spark of reuniting a Christian Europe under one crown. His Carolingian Empire, from Carolus, his Latin name, divided among his squabbling sons, would not remain intact. It would be divided again. But Charlemagne had been the example of European unity that would perhaps revive itself in later ages. So that's Charlemagne. Charlemagne was a very interesting figure in the early Middle Ages, someone who had his own lasting influence on the history of Europe and the history of the world, and someone who others would try to emulate, even though he, at the time, was trying to emulate the Romans. He was crowned Holy Roman Emperor, and he was able to unite those peoples for safety and security. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.